people have called into question some of the abusers that I have exposed, namely people like Milkded. I'm very easy to be taken advantage of. You can take advantage of me very, very easily. It's super easy.
Keep in mind, Tyler also very frequently tries to guilt trip both Milkded and other people into thinking that she is the grand victim in every fucking situation that she's in. So I don't really see how this is one-sided towards only Milkded rather than, both of them doing this.
I'm going to get straight to the point. Hello. A majority of you who recognize me know me as Milkded. I was a former Roblox Youtuber from the years 2021 through 2022 before I landed into some controversy. The controversy I was placed in was publicly shown by my ex-partner, Tyler, aka Gerda, known online as Onion Bread, and a YouTuber, aka her new boyfriend, Tristan, but known online as Godfishing. I'm here to give my side, as I never had the opportunity to do so before, due to me deleting all my socials. As to the reason why I deleted them, was because I didn't want to do YouTube anymore, as I didn't like who I was becoming as a person, and the kind of content I was making, along with reports of my audience treating others poorly. No, it wasn't because of the allegations that were brought against me, as that came out after I left YouTube, which gave me no platform to defend myself on, and I wasn't aware until after. There's always two sides to a story, and I'm here to address the allegations and state which ones are true, false, out of context, or just completely over-exaggerated with what I can defend myself with. Before I begin, I want to address that this video, nor do I, condone nor allow harassment, bullying, doxing, stalking, and other forms of harassment to anyone mentioned in this video. If you proceed with any of the things I stated, they have every right to report you and criticize you for your actions. It took me a long time to say anything due to the fact that not only did I not have a platform to defend myself on, but I wanted to improve my life and get the help I needed and just move forward. I'm no longer a furry, and I do not want to be one ever again, as I was a degenerate while being one and doing nothing but causing stress onto other people's lives. On top of that, I didn't want to respond out of anger and wanted to respond more maturely and rationally rather than how my past self would react. So I apologize to anyone that has encountered my toxic behavior, as you did not deserve how I treated you, and that the call out that happened to me was the slap in the face that I deserved. But it's my time to give my side, state my truth. I also want to state that I never met Tyler in person. She has met her ex, she has met Fishing, but she and I have never seen each other in real life. It was all an online relationship. I didn't put my hands on her, I didn't assault her, I didn't abuse her or anything like that, because we never even met. I've seen some people say I abused her from that, which wasn't the case at all, and I have no clue where or why people were stating such false information. I don't know who they heard it from, but this was never alleged and comes from people who haven't done the bare minimum to look into the situation. And make me look like some evil monster. There are pictures and videos of Fishing and Tyler being together in person, but there is not one single or video of me and Tyler being together in real life. Now, let's get started. Godfishing states that I told Tyler that I wouldn't want to have kids with her if she was autistic, which isn't true, like, at all. I never said that. I said I don't want our child to be autistic or disabled. And if they did end up like that, then it is what it is. What parent wants to wish their child to be disabled? I have disabilities myself. It happens. No one wants them or wishes their kid to have them too. While I do not recall being upset with Tyler due to her possibly having autism. I do remember being upset with her for taking online tests and self-diagnosing from it. Now it's obvious people have disabilities that haven't been officially diagnosed yet, including me. I do have a learning disability and I was in special ed throughout school for not only that but also my anger issues. I could also possibly have ADHD, insomnia, and Tourette's, but I have not gotten officially diagnosed with it yet, as I have not went to the doctor to get officially tested for it, so I can't say I have something when I'm unsure of it myself. Also, look at the dates between these two screenshots. These are completely different dates and two different conversations that doesn't relate to Tyler possibly being autistic. I was worried that the fact that if something were to happen to her, especially while having a child, I'd blame myself for it. I know it sounds dumb, as I don't know much about pregnancy and how it works, due to me not having kids and never really consider them until I'm older, but I didn't want to hurt her in any regard. It doesn't justify my shitty behavior though. I was being rude for some reason and I don't remember why. I think I was just being a genuine ass due to something personal going on. I'm not sure, but again, I do not recall stating that I wouldn't want to have a baby with her due to her possibly being on the spectrum, as I was also confused in the screenshots. I don't recall saying that. I recall what I stated earlier, but she would also get mad at me for my thoughts on abortion, as it's her body and her right, which is fine, but I didn't want our child to die. That's another controversial topic that I won't get into, but she stated that I have the same mindset as every other ignorant male that she met for saying that. I was accused of basically keeping Tyler awake in order to get what I want or have her to be vulnerable so she doesn't remember anything. In the screenshots here, I freaked out as Tyler vanished out of nowhere. Now I freaked out because Tyler has a history of disappearing after stating something about self-harm or saying something worrying or just disappearing, to which I get worried as she does have a history for depression, self-harm, etc. Now I understand we have to rest, which doesn't justify my reaction to it or what I said, as it was completely uncalled for. She even vanished on Gone Fishing after Tyler was and still is being accused of multiple things including grooming, to which Fishing even stated that what she did was indirect grooming, but tried to downplay it and shove it under the rug so people would stop talking about it.
Right, you know, I can agree with you on part of this. I think it was indirectly.
Okay.
Indirectly, I think that's indirectly grooming, indirectly child endangerment. I'll agree with you there. I think it was indirect.
I'll get to that later. Back to what I was previously stating, not only did I freak out thinking she wasn't okay, but after she told me what happened, I was being petty due to the fact I needed my work done, and she fell asleep. I completely forgot that we both lived in not only completely different time zones, but on two different countries and continents across the world from each other. But I didn't take that into consideration, and I was being petty, rude, and selfish. Now right here, I said she was my ex 2.0, which is such a horrible thing to say. Me and that ex are cool now, and we work things out, as I contacted her and apologized for my wrongdoings a while ago, and seeing I can make it up to her or just be on good terms. We are good friends even to this day, so again, I'm sorry for calling you her, and I'm sorry to my other ex for saying this. You had nothing to do with it, and I randomly brought you into it. These screenshots were all taken within the same day or time span, besides the last one, to which the last one is just talking about me being disappointed in her for something, and she even stated that I always make sure she sleeps because there's also been plenty of times where I would tell her to sleep and she would simply refuse to, either to finish something we were working on together or in general. And I didn't mean to keep her awake if I did, and I'm sorry you had to stay up to deal with some of my shit, Tyler. I also had to stay up to deal with your stuff too, as I was worried for you. But I didn't force you to stay awake, and I didn't force you to do anything you didn't want to do, as there's plenty of screenshots backing that up. There's no excusing me for being a genuine ass. She claims I blackmailed her, which blackmail is the action treated as a criminal offense of demanding payment or another benefit from someone in return for not revealing compromising or damaging information about them. But yet, all of these screenshots that he provided for this part includes zero blackmail. Like, at all. The first screenshot is me and Tyler discussing about our nudes, not personal information, to which I deleted during our relationship, and I deleted anything else after we stopped dating because that would be weird and not good to hold on to someone else's nudes while you aren't with them anymore. But Tyler did that. She even sent my censored nudes to other people, including my friend who was 16 at the time, which he also was the creator of the doc made against me. He took it down because the evidence didn't line up with the claims they were making. But Fishing and Tyler think I paid him. Not only that, Tyler got rid of Cholo out of her life because he played Fortnite with me. Alright then. Not only that, she described what my dick looked like in a GC with people all under the age of 18. So who knows? She could have sent the uncensored version or whatever to someone out there and it could be floating around somewhere. This can be seen as revenge porn. The rest is Tyler providing her information to authenticate her actual age, as during a call I freaked out when she said she felt 15 when I misheard her and that's why I left. That's my fault for overreacting. When she stated she felt forced to verify her age even though she wasn't. And I even told her not to send verification as it was personal information and she still did it anyway. It was a misunderstanding, but at least she verified her age at the end of the day. And I'm sorry you felt that way, Tyler, but you know I didn't force you to. But then I state, don't take this public. And it was me discussing our fallout. I never demanded or offered payment or any other benefit for her to not say anything. I never threatened to reveal her personal information or any of her stuff if she were to say anything, as I still haven't done that to this day, because I don't do that, nor do I dox, which is hypocritical because she doxed me. Someone asked for my personal information in Gone Fishing's Discord server, and she happily gave that person my phone name and my address, doxing me in the process. Users from that server ended up looking up my house, and it's still up to this day, to which Tyler and them did the same thing with Parlo. Like, she even wished death on me, and does every day too. Sexual coercion is unwanted sexual activity that happens after being pressured in non-physical ways that include being worn down by someone who repeatedly asks for sex, being lied to, or being promised things that weren't true to trick you into having sex, which I never did. And none of these screenshots really show that. Keep in mind, I never forced her to do any of this, nor did I pressure her or wear her down, nor did I lie to her or promise her stuff for sexual things. During this time, I spoke a lot about anal, and there's a lot of results and stuff about me or her speaking about it due to me being a sexual deviant. I had a severe porn addiction for years, ever since I hit puberty, and being a furry while being in a relationship with her, a person who was also extremely sexual, didn't help at all. While she did state she didn't want to do anal, and it seems like I was kind of pushing it, and I can understand why she would feel any sort of worrisome or uncomfiness over the statements I was making. But I never told her she had to do it. And I even asked what her safe word would be and how I can keep her comfortable, how to avoid hurting her in any way. And she responded to even saying what I was into was common amongst males, but she also stated that I personally, don't want to have anything to do with anal, but I also can't say that I will never do it because I don't know. My thoughts will change. But I stand by my word, and it doesn't sound bad at all. And I didn't mention anal or anything at all until a bit later. Tyler was the one who actually mentioned it, changing her mind and said, I'm reading about anal right now so I can educate myself. Which isn't coercive at all. and it was herself making that decision. To which she sent stuff and so on and so forth, but I didn't pressure her into doing it at all, and I didn't break her down into doing something that she wasn't comfortable with doing. I shouldn't have spoken about anal so much, as I should have just stopped talking about it when she said she didn't like it, but she changed her mind on her own will with her consent. There would be other times where I told her I wouldn't leave her because she didn't want to do anal, nor would I want to do it if she doesn't want to, but there was also times where she would try to re-intrigue me into it after I told her let's not do it by sending me furry anal porn gifts. She either did that because she felt bad or actually wanted to do it. I don't fucking know what her intentions were. The other stuff were me making weird jokes to people I don't know, because that's how my humor was, and she even admitted to making the same jokes while she was single. I had a huge fear that she would cheat on me, and this isn't her fault. I always had a huge fear of any one of my partners to end up cheating on me. They also said that the dream I had of her cheating on me was about fishing, which wasn't the case at all. It's just cheating in general, and it was just some random guy my mind generated. To be fair, she did cheat on her previous partner with me, and after I learned about that, I was extremely worried she would do the same with me. When me and Tyler were getting closer and closer, she would make art for me, flirt with me, wait for me to come back, etc. She did the exact same thing with fishing. Not only that, she tried to get me into a polyamorous relationship, as during the time she was with her partner, who was now her ex and still possible friend. I didn't know what polyamorous was, so I told her, why do you keep talking about this poly stuff? And she said, well, look at the time. She eventually had me in her dating while she was dating her other partner, who wasn't comfortable with the idea at all, and even stated she was jealous of me for being with Tyler, which she had every right to be. Her ex is asexual and Tyler isn't. And one of the main reasons why she left her ex was because she needed someone to be sexual with her. That's what she said in her own words. I feel terrible because not only is it embarrassing to have my gooner moments all over the internet now, but I feel like I've ruined their relationship. And I should have never been brought into the picture, ever. I also, again, never forced her to do anything she didn't want to do. So, Tyler's ex-partner, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry for the way I affected your relationship with Tyler. I should have never gotten to it to begin with, and I should have just let you guys do your own thing. They claimed I was cold shorting her with 3 screenshots. I'm not even joking. It shows 3 screenshots of me pushing her away while 2 resided within the same day. Yeah, that's okay, so back then I didn't like talking about my personal issues as I felt less of a man, and every time I did speak about them, the people I spoke to would use them against me in a later date during an argument. So I couldn't even tell her some stuff either. Nonetheless, I was being immature, but that's really about it. Financial abuse is when a partner controls the other partner's finances, preventing them from accessing things, getting any sort of employment as a way of manipulation, and or to make the partner financially dependent on them. Now, they claimed I financially abused her by showing screenshots of me buying stuff for her or offering to pay stuff for her. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's financial abuse. I didn't make her dependent on me, as she was able to get her own job or her own way of making money whenever she wanted to, and I even wanted to help her get a job if she moved to the United States with free counseling sessions. I never controlled what she could spend or where she would get her money and etc. I just wanted to make her life better. And I got her stuff she wanted too, like a pink gaming chair, clothes for her mom, shoes, Robux, a drawing tablet, you name it. I wanted to do things for her because I cared about her. And I don't understand how that can be seen as financial abuse, as I even told her she doesn't have to do anything or give anything back Now, these next screenshots, I was acting extremely petty, immature, and being an ass, and being weirdly formal over $300. Now, the reason why I was being petty over $300 was not only because I had a lot of bills to pay during the time and during the month, but I also worked at a horrible job. It was an insulation factory and I was getting paid very little to do so much. 10 to 12 hour days, especially warehouse managing and making sure bales of paper from semi-trailers were unloaded at a given amount of time, as the drivers have other deliveries to make, especially going from paper to food, to which I would have to clean the entire trailer with a certain amount of time, otherwise I'd get complaints. There were times where it was so damn cold out in the warehouse that it would be negative 20 to negative 40 degrees with ice on the floor, and I would have to load and unload trucks with no heat at all besides a coat and gloves. My hands were puffy because the only form of heat I can find was the exhaust coming out of the back of the forklift. Most of the time, the paper was extremely dirty and dusty, and even including dead animals and unknown human things. It was the cheapest paper the company could order, yet I had to deal with all of that mess. So not only was I dealing with all of that, but I also had to deal with my car accident when my boss ran into my Challenger, completely totaling it in the process. I had no vehicle or any transportation to work. But not only that, I also had to come back to deal with my personal life at home, which was going absolutely horrible at this time. And then I would have to find time to spend with Tyler and squeeze in YouTube videos. Now, all of that doesn't excuse my shitty behavior and how I treated her during that time, but I just wanted to give you guys context as to what I was dealing with. I did pay her for my thumbnails too, and I did my own thumbnails when I couldn't afford it, as I didn't want her to do free work. Labor is labor. You should get paid for it. Granted, I didn't like the suspicious thumbnails we were making, as over time they were making me and Tyler uncomfortable, but I still made the decision to keep doing them, as I was worried of losing my audience or views. I should have listened to my friends about it and Tyler, but I didn't, cause even with those weird thumbnails, whatever topic I spoke about got attention to it too. But it got even harder to pay for her thumbnails after she got me fired from my second job. She threatened self-harm on herself and disappeared again, to which I freaked the fuck out and was glued to my phone, spamming her, waiting for her response, and the boss saw me on my phone and got rid of not only me, but my brother, because he was guilty of association. Overall, the situation sucked. I didn't financially abuse her, and she can do whatever she wants with her finances, and I hope she eventually gets a job. And fishing, with that logic, wouldn't that make you a financial abuser by paying for her $1,000 plane tickets and other necessaries? Wouldn't that mean she's dependent on you? Dumb, isn't it? Doesn't make any sense. As a matter of fact, she managed to get her own money by either fishing, commissions, or getting a part-time job, only to spend it on a fursuit. Now, she has every right to spend money on whatever she wants because it's her money. And I also spend my money on stupid shit too. But for her wise, I think my best advice for the both of you is to save money and plan it out, as anything unexpectedly can happen. Especially when you're a high school dropout with no job doing YouTube on a channel that can die out any day now, and spending all of your hard-earned money to fly a girl from across the world to spend time with you. You only live once, so you do you, but I learned the hard way wasting money like that, and it sucks. I couldn't afford anything. A lot of the screenshots provided within this section was a lot of me just being an emotional asshole. I have no idea why I kept going from apologetic to anger in the matter of moments. It was completely uncalled for and unexcusable. But I also noticed that a lot of these screenshots within not only this section but on the other claims show my distaste for Tyler constantly playing the victim.
You know how when shit goes down between us, or something happens, something doesn't make you happy, lately, not before, lately, you seem just to always think you're innocent. You're just a little selfish. I'm not saying that in a bad way, when it comes to conflict, you only care about yourself. And I'm not being mean about that. You're not always innocent, okay? You're not And I'm sick of you just making me feel bad. Not all the time. You don't do this all the time, but when it comes to certain conflicts and certain situations, you just always try to make it sound like it's my fault when it's not. I wasn't trying to be rude or anything like that. I bet you're mad at me and all that because I say you're playing victim, but am I wrong? And I know you can get all mad and all that shit, but I'm just being honest. I'm not playing innocent either, but this time I'm not saying I'm innocent. I'm just confronting you that you're not innocent either. You're not the victim. Neither am I. We both are in the wrong.
I know that they're doing this, but it's this doesn't make me look like the bad person. If anything, I'm the one with a heart, and I'm the one with morals, and this makes them look, this just shows their true side. This shows them as who they are. They find abuse and, abuse of little animals funny, and this is how they are. If they're proud of themselves for this, then good for them, but I don't know what else to say. I'm not ashamed of being proudly a good person. That's all I'm gonna say.
Tyler has a history of not taking accountability for her actions or pushes the blame onto other people, as she's done that with me, with fishing, and the minors she allegedly groomed. Every time I would confront her about playing the victim, she would make herself look better in the situation where she either wouldn't take accountability and she would react out of anger constantly with any statement I make regarding her playing the victim. Now those times I said it while I was being a complete dickhead, and which was very unnecessary and shouldn't even have occurred, but she does continue, even to this day, to state she didn't do anything wrong or it's not her fault. She managed to push all the blame onto me to make me look worse after she called me out, and it didn't help the fact that fishing helped encourage her to push out a false narrative in order to, again, look like the victim or at least not at fault. The sad truth about that is the fact that she only decided to date Gone Fishing as a way to get back at me or make me jealous. Yeah, so she didn't love him originally or from the start, because she just wanted to hurt me for how I treated her. She didn't get with him because he's him. And she even kissed you at the end of the video you made on me fishing because she knew I was watching, and she just wanted to hurt me and make me jealous and try to get back at me. And fishing, I don't know how you fell for this, as not only you stated you didn't date online, but the fact that you decided to make it worth your while to be with someone who gave you the slightest affection and fell for it. I was just like that, man. Whenever a girl gave me the opportunity or flirted with me, I jumped the gun too. I was dumb and ignorant. And yeah, it feels amazing to have a woman to be attracted to you, but it isn't worth sticking around once you realize she only did that with bad intentions in mind. Tyler also stated that she admitted to liking fishing to me, to which she didn't, because every time I caught on to it and confronted her about it, she would deny it consistently and gaslight me into believing a different narrative, or that she wouldn't date him because he doesn't online date and because he's a minor. I reacted out of anger a lot for whatever reason, as it was shown on the other statements. I apologize a lot for overreacting, overthinking, being mad, etc. And for some reason, I was still quick to anger regardless of the situation. Tyler also gaslighted me and teased me into believing a false narrative, to which she got upset because she thinks I didn't trust her when my gut basically predicted what she was doing. There was no excuse for how I behaved, and she didn't have to go through that. What we have here is me being overreactive again, and basically was apologizing for how I behaved. I didn't do any of this just to leverage her feelings of guilt. I was genuinely an asshole, and I didn't like who I was becoming as a person, which I have stated many times to her, to others, and so on and so forth. But I didn't like what I was becoming. I didn't like how I treated people online, and I especially didn't like how I was treating myself. That was the main reason why I even quit YouTube, was because I didn't like who I was becoming and how I was treating people. Not only that, I didn't like how weird I was becoming, how strong my porn addiction gotten, how I was a furry, and I hated my thumbnails. and I'm still disgusted by them even to this day. I'm disappointed in myself for even going down that route in order to gain an audience or views. I did YouTube as a hobby and I didn't make a single dime on it, and those thumbnails should have never been created. At first, I thought it was funny, but then the more views I got and the more love I got, the more uncomfortable I got with the thumbnails. But I still made a decision to keep making them. Tyler didn't like them at all either. We both really didn't, and I should have listened to her and my friend's advice from the start to stop doing this, because not only is it extremely weird and gross and so on and so forth, but it could come back and bite me in the ass, and it did. Ruben Sim called me out on them, and he had every right to. He had every right to criticize them and criticize me, as you guys do too. I'm sorry for everyone who had to see those weird games I played and weird thumbnails I was making. I hope I didn't make anyone uncomfortable, and I'm sorry, Ruben, for making you upset due to me being petty about what I was making, and you had every right to be upset. And Tyler, I know I paid you for it, along with other things relating to my content, but I should have just let you not do the sus thumbnails and stuff, as it not only put stress on us and importantly you, but we both were losing sleep over it. I was being completely immature on how I went about and did things, and I was sensitive, and I didn't like criticism. People who judged me or my content, I would react out of frustration or find some weird reason to justify my thumbnails or how I behaved or treated people in my videos. I'm very disappointed in myself, and I told Tyler many times and even often recommended or try to help her find someone better than me, as I know she could, and she did, and I'm glad they're happy together, as they both need that happiness in their lives. But the origins to that isn't pleasant for Fishing, as he deserves so much better. Me and Tyler, if guilt tripping was occurring, then me and Tyler did the same thing. It's odd because there was another time where I was clearly upset at a joke I made, and Tyler kept asking me for money in order for her to forgive me, which is extremely strange, but I digress. Fishing tries to state that my high video that I made on January 2nd, 2023 was a video of my response to the allegations and about Tyler, and that I tried to guilt trip my audience into thinking that it wasn't bad, which is completely false. Fishing often put words in my mouth while I was away from YouTube. Same with Tyler. I made the video because, as previously stated, I didn't like the person I was becoming, I didn't like the content I was making, and I didn't like how I was treating people online. In the video, I clearly state and never mentioned any single thing about the allegations because I was unaware of any allegation until after I deleted my channel because I didn't want to do YouTube anymore and wanted to work on myself. Literally a day after this video and my channel deletion, January 3rd, 2023, was when I was exposed and a doc and a video was made on me. They attacked me while I couldn't even fight back or even have access to my Discord account anymore. The screenshots do show that Tyler has been screenshotting things and recording things for a long time, but never released any of it until after I was gone, so they could easily paint me as something I'm not and to get back at me. And everyone ate it up, as I had no chance to defend myself. I made another Discord account to see what evidence I could gather to counter the allegations, but I was told by a friend that I should just go offline and become a better person and get the help that I need. And so I did. I went to therapy, I focused on myself, I focused on my health, I focused on living my life normally, as I was much happier that way. The only thing weighing me down was this situation and the fact that my name is getting slandered even to this day by people who were also making up false allegations against me, and I couldn't stay silent about it anymore. But yeah, the video had nothing to do with Tyler, as I was talking about who I was and how I was treating people in general. I never mentioned Tyler once or any sort of allegation because it didn't come out until after I was gone. I was also being accused of overprotecting Tyler by me wanting to be friends with fishing. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of friends in real life as I moved away from the town I grew up in, and it was hard making new friends for me during the time, especially online. I didn't really hang out with people other than Tyler and maybe someone else. I'm usually either alone or spending time with my family, to which Tyler was upset about too. There were times where Tyler got mad at me for spending time with my little sister, and my family recalls this as she was blowing up my phone while me, my little sister, and family were hanging up Halloween decorations. I did feel lonely at the fact that I lost Tyler feelings-wise, and I also just wanted to be friends with Fishing because I just wanted to be part of their friend group. And I also feel like I may have gotten on the wrong foot with Fishing ever since that drama video I made on him and Loppy back in 22, to which he recently tried to use against Loppy for his allegations and against me, while leaking my full name and posting a picture of my high school face.
I've had people recently calling into question whether or not Tyler, aka Milkded, was actually abusive. Wow. People have called into question some of the abusers that I have exposed, namely people like Milkded.
Not only that, but he also stated that I was defending Loppy and played the video, but only the intro. Nothing else.
Hey, you know, fun fact, Loppy was actually friends with Milkded, and at the time that I first had a clash with him, guess who defended him? Oh, Milkded. Here, you want to see that video? I still have it.
So, apparently there's been some drama going on in the Roblox community between two small YouTubers by the name of Gone Fishing and Loppy. Gone Fishing is a versatile Roblox commentary YouTuber.
Gone Fishing is a versatile YouTuber who's gonna have his my girl in about 6 months from now, so really excited for that because I'm a big fat fucking abuser and I totally deserve it. She deserves way better than me. Anyways, it's your boy Milkded signing off.
He straight up lied right there and didn't even bother playing the video, as in the video I stated that both sides made good points, but the drama is stupid and everyone's a hypocrite, and the drama should end.
Here's my final response to both of these. They're both hypocrites. They're both, this whole thing is pathetic. It's just dumb drama that's very unnecessary and shouldn't be even here right now, but here it is, and now we got two Roblox YouTubers arguing again. It's honestly hypocritical. And you know what? Fuck it. We're all hypocritical here. Me, you, him, my viewers, your viewers, everybody's hypocritical. There, boom. We're all hypocritical. Now get over this stupid ass drama. It's like so unnecessary, dude. Like this drama can be so avoidable. Gone Fishing, you didn't have to target specifically Loppy. Like there's many other content creators that do this shit, including myself. Loppy, like you're minding your own business, but there is some things that you do that's questionable too. Like, me too, I do some questionable shit too. We all do some fucked up shit. This whole drama is so stupid. I hate seeing people I'm fine with, I'm cool with, and everything, just argue over stupid fucking shit on the internet just for either views or just to piss the other one off. Like, you don't have to like someone, but why go after them? Like, and just make a whole 11-minute video on it. Like, I can understand you can criticize someone, that's completely understandable, that's completely fine. You can criticize anybody, but don't just target, hate them, and don't send harassment towards their way. Gone Fishing is a hypocrite, my fans are hypocrite, Loppy's fans are hypocrites. Like, everybody's comment warriors are fucking hypocrites. Everybody's hypocrite. Everybody can be a hypocrite in this world. Nobody's perfect. So, let's just get over it and stop this dumbass drama. It's so fucking pointless.
I wasn't defending anybody. I just wanted the drama to end because, you both were people I liked. Not only that, what Loppy has done now has nothing to do with me back in 2022. I don't know why you brought that up, thinking it was some sort of groundbreaking, validating point, but you often lie a lot, Tristan. Anyways, but Tyler was also spending a lot of time with them, and it sparked my curiosity, and I wanted to be a part of it. Then I somehow was overprotecting by offering to pay something for her. Again, I did pay for her visa, to which she used to see Fishing, but I offered to pay her. I gave her money to do things. That's not overprotection or financial abuse. And me asking if she's okay is overprotection too, I guess. I guess me being worried about her is considered an overprotection in Fishing's eyes, to which I don't understand. There's been so many times where I was worried about Tyler to the point I was afraid of leaving her because I was worried that she would harm herself or even end her life if I did. I told her ex about this, and she even admits that Tyler does stuff while she's alone, as Tyler stated that herself as well. Now, I should have listened to her ex's advice and just taken a break or just ended the relationship with Tyler completely, because it was just pure toxicity. We both were mentally unstable young people who weren't mentally or physically ready for a relationship, and that's all it really was. But yet, Tyler and Fishing pushed out a false narrative to paint me as something I'm not. I don't know why I kept coming back to Tyler in the relationship, as me and her were just better off not being together or even being friends. To which I eventually did end up blocking her because I wanted to focus on myself and do better as a person, and having Tyler in my life would not be the best idea, as we both should have just moved on instead of ending it like this. She also got upset that I slowly stopped talking to her and I was talking with my ex. Apparently I was being racist because Tyler's racial and heritage, where that's not the case at all. Now, what I said here is pretty controversial, but I was mostly just worried what my parents or general family would say. If I genuinely had a problem with it, I wouldn't even have continued dating her, despite her being German, Turkish, and Asian. She mocked me for being American many of times, but yes, she still continues to date them. I even told her I wasn't racist and to not expose me because I knew she would take it out of context and make it either something it's not or make it sound worse than it actually is, to which she did a lot against me and my situation. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, but no, I didn't cheat on Tyler with rats. Me and Tyler were broken up during the time, and I wanted to try to get out of it before trying to go back with Tyler again, because I don't know why I kept leaving, coming back, leaving and coming back when it was extremely toxic. So I spoke to another girl, Rats, who I falsely accused of grooming and apologized for. We got along, but eventually me and Tyler got back together, and I stated how I was uncomfortable with the way Rats was being towards me, and she moved on and dated someone, as it wasn't a problem. But I addressed it to Tyler because I felt bad. I felt like I did something wrong when in reality I didn't, because we weren't even together. I didn't cheat. This happened while we were split. This is the main reason why most of you guys are probably here. And I'm going to state this right here and tell you the truth. I did not groom Tyler. There were times where I thought I did, because I was talking to her when she was 17, and this was during the time the Call Me Carson situation was happening. And once I remember what was going on with Carson, I freaked out on what I did, but in reality, it wasn't grooming at all. Now, before I begin, I would also like to state that in the entire Milkded evidence folder, grooming was never alleged or shown. Not only that, in Fishing's video script, it was also never mentioned at all or brought up, not once. The only time it was brought up was at the very end of the doc, which means they added it there last minute to make up some last random allegation in order to slander me more, cause labels make views and they wanted me to be completely done for. So in a doc, it states that I was acting very sexual around her and was grooming her until her 18th birthday. The thing is about that statement is Tyler stated herself that she mentioned nothing about our age gap and even stopped people from calling me a pedophile when people were slandering me and still are because of it. Not only that, even in the document, she said I'm not a pedophile. And she didn't say I was grooming her at 17, but rather stated that adults can groom adults. I have no clue why she pulled this out as a way to state that I groomed her, but it doesn't apply to me and Tyler's relationship, as I was 19 and she was 17 turning 18. Our age gap is only 1 year and 5 months, while her and Gone Fishing's is 1 year and 9 months. Not only is their age gap bigger, but she did the exact same thing she accused me of and somehow that wasn't considered grooming. And Fishing says he was never groomed by Tyler, nor did Tristan feel groomed as an adult either. Tyler and Fishing also met up and had sex while he was 17 and she was 19, but used the age of consent as a defense, while that was nowhere to be seen in my defense or my situation. The age of consent in Washington, where Fishing resides, is 16, which is also the same age of consent in the state that I reside in, Minnesota. But yet again, that was never brought up in my defense, because it would be hypocritical of them to say that when they did the same thing. I never met Tyler in person. There's not a single image of me or her ever, because I never met her in person. But there's plenty of her in Fishing, so she also doesn't bring up the fact that she was also being sexual with me while she was 17, sending me jokes or not safe for work emojis. I don't have the screenshot, so you can take my word for it or not, it doesn't really matter. But she also stated that I didn't groom her and that the mindset of a person who's 17 doesn't change when they turn 18. Tyler has also made plenty of art that contains her being sexual with Fishing while he was 17, saying he was Tyler sexual. She even made an art piece about it, bragging how he lost his virginity in high school, which I could be wrong, but this does show that they did something while he was 17. Not only that, in Fishing's video about Loppy, while he was talking about me, he says this.
Sean Fishing is a versatile YouTuber who's gonna have his dick in my girl in about 6 months from now.
Have his dick in my girl 6 months from now, which is around the time they first met. Basically, he admitted that he had sex with her while he was still 17, but yet, all of that is not considered grooming. Now, people will also bring up the fact that the doc stated that I showed her an early birthday gift 2 days before she was 18, but then they state I deleted it. Now, I don't remember sending her anything before her 18th birthday. Tyler does state that I did, but it was censored, and apparently I said I did send her an early birthday gift, while the only things I do remember sending her were the explicit pictures and videos that I sent to her on her 18th birthday, which is extremely weird, and I shouldn't have done that. But censored or not, that's still unacceptable to do. And I may not remember, but if that did happen, I'm really sorry, Tyler. But again, you sent Fishing your nudes while he was 17 and you were 19. And yet you still try to claim I groomed you? You did the same thing with Tristan and all this other stuff. Yet that isn't considered grooming. But what I did is, it's a bad claim and a last-ditch effort in order to make me some sort of groomer to get back at me for how I treated her. Tyler and Fishing both claim that Tyler never groomed Fishing, so in their eyes, and by their logic, what I did is not considered grooming. Fishing even admitted to making sexual jokes with her, while again, he was 17.
At the time, when Tyler and I would like flirt in the fucking group chat, I was a minor, FYI. Again, I have to publicize this against my own will, which is just fantastic. I don't even get, like, this is just, I guess, supposed to humiliate me. Because, like, this is such a fucking lackluster allegation. But, you know, like, yeah, I made sex jokes in private, of which I'll put them on screen. Like, virtually everyone I can find.
It doesn't make any sense on how what I did is considered grooming, but what they did isn't, even though it's the exact same thing they accused me of. Now, do I think Tyler actually groomed Fishing? No, that's obvious. Not only that, the age gap is fine, they both consented, and they didn't break any laws. I was just stating how it's hypocritical of them to accuse me of grooming Tyler, but yet they did the same thing. Not only that, Tyler stated I groomed her when she was an adult, which I don't even know how I could have done that, but I don't think that applies to our relationship, because that means like a 40-year-old man dating or being sexual with someone who's 18 or 20, you know. But our age gap didn't even break the 2-year mark. So Tyler, no, I didn't groom you. Even though you still claim that I did, you even stated that I did while replying to a tweet saying that they would make fun of you for getting groomed by me. Even though I don't think they were laughing at you for that, I'm pretty sure they may have been laughing at you for saying I groomed you. Not only that, you said this under a tweet to a person who allegedly ate their own fecal matter and is also a furry, so I'm not surprised. And it was about going against Ruben Sim, from what I know, that you despise him and told him to kill himself in some weird furry art that you made. That's a topic for another video. I'll link in the comments, but yeah, I didn't groom Tyler. I'm sorry if anything I did made you uncomfortable, but it's clear that I didn't groom you, and that statement was completely slanderous and has put my face on many predator-related things. Thanks a lot. And you let phishing in your not safe for work account at 17 to gain evidence against me? Wild, but alright. We were only roughly 1 year apart and both mentally immature at the time. It is completely heinous that someone would claim that two people with a 1 year age gap having consensual sexual conversations while dating is somehow grooming.
It just pisses me off because, like, people clearly do not know what grooming is. People clearly do not have their definitions straight. And it's so fucking stupid because what this does is this actually poisons the well of victims of actual grooming whom I have told the stories of. This poisons their truth. This poisons their stories. When you throw your when you piss in the well like this and say that this is grooming, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Fuck you. Back to the
Indirectly.
Okay.
Indirectly, I think that's indirectly grooming,
okay.
Indirectly child endangerment. I'll agree with you there. I think it was indirect.
Tristan loves to lie and exaggerate and make him, and especially his girlfriends, seem like the victims. So I decided to look into what I would consider to be his biggest takedown, his takedown on Milkded. Milkded was a fairly popular YouTuber who would frequently use sexually explicit thumbnails and clickbaity tactics, and was dating Tyler between 2021 and 2022. They met when Tyler was 17 and Milkded was 19. The two broke up, and with the help of worked together to take down Milkded, accusing him of being abusive and grooming Tyler. I looked at all the evidence, so I'll just go over the main accusations here. Try to make this brief, so you don't want to fucking hang yourself. So the main ways that Tristan and Tyler claimed that Milkded was abusive was through abusive sleep deprivation, coercive sex, cold shouldering, financial abuse, and guilt tripping. There were some other ways that they tried to claim that he was abusive, particularly through blackmail, overprotection, and gaslighting, but all of these have no evidence to back up that topic whatsoever. Most of the time it's very unexplained screenshots that make no sense in any way, either including him just saying sorry or just the most basic fucking bullshit. In fact, the evidence not sticking to the topic that it's related to is a fairly common theme throughout most of these allegations. I just pointed out the ones that have some evidence that I want to debate because they don't particularly I just pointed out the ones that have some evidence that I want to debate because they don't particularly explain how he's abusive very well or explain a whole lot, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Rather than it doesn't fit the topic that it's written into. But first, talking about abusive sleep deprivation, their main evidence is him getting mad at Tyler when she decides to go to bed, which it seems more like he's mad that she's not getting work done since they would work together for videos, and they live in different time zones, so I guess it would make sense why it would be an issue if she's asleep when he's awake. Don't get me wrong, he's acting very immature in these screenshots, but I would not call this abusive since he's not keeping her up to extort something out of her or to get her to do something that she wouldn't otherwise do, but rather because he just wants his work to be done on time. Again, not saying that this is a good way to act or an acceptable way to act, but it's not abusive. It's just him being immature as far as I can see. Next, they claim that Milkded participated in what's called coercive sex, which is basically just breaking down at someone in order to get them to do something that they don't really want to do. And I'm not going to lie, the evidence is a little bit better than the other allegations that they have against him, but it's still not amazing. Now, the way they say he went about initiating coercive sex is by mentioning his anal fetish a bunch of times, and eventually Tyler sends some kind of videos, even though she says she hated fucking anal. And this caught me off guard initially. I was like, whoa, wait, this is an actual fucking claim here that maybe has some substance. But then I started looking at the dates of these messages being sent. Milkded mentions all this stuff about anal within about a week of all the other messages, the oldest being the 26th, I believe. Now, don't get me wrong, she does clearly state, like, oh, I don't really want to do anal. It's something I'm grossed out by, which is fair, you know. And he does kind of push it a little bit. He's like, man, I know you don't like this, but it'd be cool if we did it. But he kind of drops it after he gets the memo that, like, it's probably something that she doesn't want to do. And I think that he doesn't really try to push it much further than that, because it's not until almost a month later when anal is mentioned again, and instead this time it's by Tyler, and there's no more pictures of him being like, come on, you gotta do anal now, which is what I would expect if that really was his goal, in order to break her down into doing something she doesn't want to do. Without that context of the time gap, and assuming that all these messages are in quick succession of each other, it really does look like it is coercive sex, but that facade kind of falls the second you realize that it was over a month until she actually became interested in this stuff. And there's no pressuring between him stopping and her actually being interested. It really does look more like she just changed as a person rather than felt pressured into doing anything like this. The rest of the evidence in this folder is him acting strange sexually. I wouldn't say abusive, just strange. And it definitely does not fall within the idea of coercive sex. For example, him making a sexual joke towards someone that he doesn't really know. It's just him being weird, but I wouldn't say abusive. Next is cold shouldering, which only has 3 screenshots, so you know this one's gonna be pretty fucking bad. All 3 of these screenshots do show him acting kind of immature about his emotions. He's clearly upset by something, maybe not even by her entirely, maybe he's just upset about anything and just can't express his emotions to this person and is trying to get her to leave him alone. In fact, 2 of these screenshots are seemingly from the same day. I really don't see any abuse here, because that would imply that he's cold shouldering her to try to get something out of her again, which there's no evidence to show that, so I don't know why they even brought this up. Sure, he's being an immature asshole, but that's basically it. It just sums up the story of there's 2 people and they're immature and they can't handle a romantic relationship very well. Finally, financial abuse, which for those of you who don't know, financial abuse is basically when one partner tries to control the other partner's finances in almost every aspect, usually preventing them from getting a job or owning their own bank accounts, or making it very hard for them to pay for anything by withholding money from them, shit like that. Now, there's 2 sort of sets of evidence for this. The first one is just multiple instances of him offering to pay for shit that she wants, which, listen, offering to pay for shit isn't financial abuse. I can speak on my own experience as a registered girlfriend haver, and I'm pretty sure Tristan can too, that it's normal to pay for your partner's shit sometimes. I don't know if they're trying to say that he's making her financially dependent on him, which just doesn't seem to be the case, because all the stuff that he's offering to pay for is like non-essential stuff, like art commissions and whatever. Now, the second example is him acting in this very suspiciously formal tone when he's asked to pay her $300 for a commission that he apparently got from her. When I asked Tristan about this, he claimed that it's him trying to hold this $300 payment over her head to make her feel bad for him and to try to control her, but I really don't know what he's trying to control her to do here. And even afterwards, after this whole situation goes down, he apologizes for speaking in such a strange tone. So I reached out to Milkded to actually ask about this DM, because it seems like there was a lot of context that was kind of missing, and apparently The reason that he's acting so strange about all this is because she was giving him the same kind of attitude earlier, which doesn't really excuse it, but rather explains the situation as not just some one-sided abuse case. On top of that, he just didn't want to pay her $300 because bills were tight that month. He was working multiple jobs and it was hard to pay for the fucking shit. Does it excuse his actions? Again, no. He's even told me multiple times that he didn't like what he was doing. He left YouTube, stopped talking to Tyler solely because he wasn't happy with who he was himself, and not for any like, oh my god, they're gonna catch me for being a groomer. Oh my god. Like, it's just so obvious that this is just not the case here, but he's being slandered by this guy, and if you try to go against him in any way, he's just like, oh, well, you're signing with an abuser? So you're evil, even if you explain that you don't think that it's abuse. It really does just seem like he was being immature about paying her $300 for whatever bullshit that he got from her. Do I think that it's a good thing to do this? No, I think that this is pretty shitty, but I wouldn't call this abuse, because it's not like she's being like getting tortured or anything with this. She doesn't feel like trapped or anything, or any kind of like shit like that. It's just clear that he's kind of just a little weird, maybe. But this is just not financial abuse, as he's not controlling every fucking aspect of her, like, finances. Again, he's not threatening her if she gets a job. She has complete control over her fucking money. It's $300 anyways. I get that it's probably a good sum of money, but it's not like a shitload where she absolutely needs the $300 right at that moment. Now onto the evidence they supplied for guilt tripping. A lot of this is just him saying sorry for something that he thinks that he did was shitty. Though, don't get me wrong, there are some times where he randomly just goes fucking overboard with it. Now, they did bring up this video that he made that kind of looks like guilt tripping-ish, until you ask him about it and you realize that this is not even about Tyler entirely. This is about him as a person wanting to step away from YouTube. It's so obvious. But no. Tyler and Tristan want to construe this as a direct admission of guilt, that he's a disgusting, abusive groomer, and there's absolutely no coming back for him. When, keep in mind, Tyler was doing the exact same thing to Milkded, even if there is guilt tripping here. Like, she is also doing the exact same thing. Not saying that this makes it better, but it puts everything into context as, Jesus Christ, this isn't like a one-sided abuse story where Milkded is some evil, terrorizing monster. It's just two very young, immature people in a very bad relationship with each other. Keep in mind, Tyler also very frequently tries to guilt trip both Milkded and other people into thinking that she is the grand victim in every fucking situation that she's in. So I don't really see how this is one-sided towards only Milkded rather than, you know, both of them doing this. And would I call Tyler abusive? No. Fuck no. That's so stupid. And finally, Tyler claims that Milkded groomed her. Which is basically completely fucking impossible because they were both adults for majority of their relationship, and adults can't get groomed, unlike what Tyler tries to claim the entire fucking time. The reason you can't be groomed as an adult is because you're an adult. You have complete agency over your actions by this point and know what you're fucking doing, okay? Unless you are somehow so mentally disabled that you have no clue what you're fucking doing, which I'm pretty sure Tyler isn't. It's just not grooming in that case. Then it's so weird. I don't know. Now, do keep in mind that apparently there are some messages that Milkded had sent that apparently contain nudes of himself that he sent to Tyler 2 days before she turned 18. But apparently that isn't considered grooming, as if you remember from the Lux situation, Tyler had did the same to Tristan, and they both claimed that Tyler never groomed Tristan. So in their eyes, this cannot be considered as grooming. Overall, I just think that Milkded was a bad boyfriend. He wasn't really inherently abusive in any way, which is kind of weird to say considering his reputation has been fucking throttled into the ground for the past year, and anyone who even utters to say that he isn't an abusive groomer fucking asshole gets fucking laughed at by the entirety of Gone Fishing's community. But hey, here I am. I'm saying it, and I've already went over pretty much all of the evidence that holds any weight of him being abusive.
Okay, the final installment. We're finally here. This dude who has been leeching off of my name for like the past like coming up on 2 months. He's made like 3 videos on me, because he got a little, triggered at our last exchange. He, just was like, fucking, I'm gonna make a video, fucking exposing every single time.
Fishing originally responded to Charman's video in his DMs. He claimed that he was defending me when that wasn't the case at all. Charman even stated that he wasn't.
Does it excuse his actions? Again, no. He's even told me multiple times that he didn't like what he was doing. Do I think that it's a good thing to do this? No. I think that this is pretty shitty, but I wouldn't call this abuse, because it's not like she's being like getting tortured or anything with this.
And it was just him going over the situation as something that was either blown out of proportion or cherry-picked. Charman also took back his statement, and he does agree that adults can groom adults, but that didn't apply to me and Tyler's relationship. Fishing is clearly coping with the fact that he got called out again and is trying to excuse and weasel his way out of it again. He's not leeching off you. He's making these videos because you and Tyler refuse to take accountability and rather blame others for your guys' mistakes or completely ignore the situation.
Number 1, this video is staffed with like a coalition of the fucking loser Avengers. I'm gonna read you through this cast of characters he's got. Okay, you have a random person who I do not know. Okay, and then you have an anti-furry, an anti-furry, an anti-furry, an anti-furry, an anti-furry, and then the Mods for Dummies guy. Oh, but that's not it, actually. That's not it. There's some other ones that I wonder why he wouldn't want to list these contributions. In his video, he's doing Milkded apologia. I am not kidding. He is actually making excuses for...
Does it excuse his actions? Again, no.
I had with him a few weeks ago. I didn't publicize this, but I was waiting to. So here's clips of Charman saying that Tyler wasn't abused by Milkded, that Milkded wasn't an abuser.
I think that a lot of the claims you made about Milkded were over-exaggerated, and it really wasn't that much of an issue as you made it out to be.
Again, just a bad boyfriend. I don't know if it's abuse. Abuse would
You
imply
don't know
like...
if it's abuse.
I wouldn't call it abuse.
Wow. Alright.
And here's him laughing at me describing the abuse.
I know you don't like anal, but fuck, I want all of you. Like, that's abusive?
Yes.
How so?
She has told him that she is, like, horribly uncomfortable with this, and he is still not only persisting in saying that he wants to do it with her, but that he is, like, encouraging her to, like, push past that. You might as well fantasize about raping her.
Whoa, buddy.
Dude, she said that she wouldn't.
He wasn't laughing at you, claiming I abused her. He was laughing at the fact that you had the audacity to state I might as well fantasize about raping her? Of course he's going to laugh at that, because what kind of statement is that? That kind of statement is not only hugely false, but is a super over-exaggeration of what actually occurred. I never fantasized about doing that with her, but she sure has.
Interesting. I think there's like some spurious claims made throughout about how like Tyler like sent me nudes or something. He doesn't attach any evidence for this. All that he has is just them saying that something happened. There's no proof that any of this happened.
Hello, it's Gone Fishing from the Future. Because I was just curious, I tracked down what could have possibly been the subject of the messages here. And... dude, like, I have to publicize this information, but, like, yeah, it's a lie. At least it's told in a way that's, like, so over-exaggerated. At the time, when Tyler and I would, like, flirt in the fucking group chat, I was a minor, FYI. Again, I have to publicize this against my own will, which is just fantastic. I don't even get, like, this is just, I guess, supposed to humiliate me. Because, like, this is such a fucking lackluster allegation. But, you know, like, yeah, I made sex jokes in private, of which I'll put them on screen. Like, virtually everyone I can find. So, they reference, like, a couple specific things that, like, immediately rereading this, it's been almost 2 years, I was like, what the fuck? Like, literally, what the fuck? It was so far-fetched what they were even talking about. But the fact that I responded saying that, oh, I didn't know you made it, you know, uncomfortable, like, clearly I joked about it at some point. So I looked through. I realized, I was like, oh shit, it's this fucking image. It's this image. This is a redraw of a meme, dude. It's a redraw of a meme. It explains, like, half of the messages. Half of what they said. I looked up the specific things that they said I said. 0 results, dude. 0. They have no proof because it doesn't exist.
Knowing Fishing, a user told Fishing to stop talking about how Tyler sent them nudes, has a cream pie fetish, and so on and so forth. And you'd think with something like this said against him, he would be all defensive and make up claims left and right and how this and that didn't occur. He basically admitted to it and apologized for it. But now that he's being called out for it, he's trying to pull excuses and stuff in order to make it look like that it never happened. Fishing openly admits to making sex shows with Tyler, while Tyler did the same back while he was 17 and Tyler was 19. Do you guys see the hypocrisy going on here? He debunks and circles the not using protection and them having a creep eye fetish claim with evidence backing it up, but completely ignores the fact that Tyler did send him nudes while he was 17. Yet, when they alleged that I did that, it was worse when it's just as bad. Now, I'm not saying Tyler did or anything like that, but he never confronts it at all in any of his responses. He completely glazes it or ignores it completely, so it probably did happen, and he doesn't want to admit it because it would make him look like a hypocrite, especially after the claims he made against me. But yeah, as a person who did date Tyler, she didn't like the fact that I wanted to use protection because I didn't want to get her pregnant, so I wouldn't be surprised if that green pie fetish statement was said by Fishing.
This sounds like a reputable source, just like how you got Milkded in the video. That sounds like a very reputable source.
He states that I'm not a reputable source, while I literally was the person that dated her for about 2 years before you, Fishing. And not only that, she wouldn't have been known to people if it wasn't for me and you. I know who she is, and so do you. She's still the same person as she was before and refuses to change or take accountability for anything. And you know this, Fishing, as she puts you in the line of fire whenever allegations get brought up against her. How about you let her get in front of the camera with the mic and have her explain her side, defend herself with evidence, etc. But no, she throws you under the bus so you could take the fall for her mistakes. You even said what she did was indirect grooming. You know what she did was wrong. Yet you're still trying to find ways to defend her. You don't need to go through all of this for this girl, dude. There's plenty of women out there who would treat you 1,000 times better with less drama.
You're really marketing yourself in a way where you're changing minds. You're parsing through fucking Milkded's DMs and being like, look, it wasn't that bad, guys. I mean, come on.
You can be a whiny, immature bastard, be a bad boyfriend, but not be abusive.
Oh, okay. So it was just him being a little immature then, is what you're saying? He was just having a bad day, maybe.
That's not financial abuse. Yeah.
He was just having a bad day, maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, probably.
The thing is, dude, I tried, in conversation with him a few weeks ago, I tried to walk him back from the Milkded stuff because I realized he was actually fucking walking into traffic. I realized he was doing it. He was walking himself into fucking traffic. And I tried. I said to him nicely, I was like, dude, I don't think you want to die on this hill. I don't think you want to die on this hill.
Yet you're wanting to die on this hill too, Fishing? You want to keep making claims based off opinions against people, especially me, who you have slandered, and yet you attack anyone who gives a reasonable statement about my situation?
Alright, you really want to die on this? Like, you really want to die on this? You really want to die on excusing his abuse? That's what you want to go down with?
Now no, because I'm not saying that I'm saying, like, this seems to me like he was just an immature person in a bad relationship.
Yeah, so you're excusing his abuse.
Dude, I have clips of you laughing at the abuse, saying that Tyler isn't like a fucking victim, that she wasn't groomed. You said in your video that adults can't be groomed. You're a fucking idiot!
Claims that Milkded groomed her, which is basically completely fucking impossible because they were both adults for a majority of their relationship, and adults can't get groomed, unlike what Tyler tries to claim.
You could bring up like I'm not gonna like go fucking watch through your shit piece video, dude. I'm not that dumb, and I know the people that watch me are not that dumb.
Your fan base is manipulated into believing a false narrative due to the statements you make against people. Of course, people are gonna see them as idiotic or stupid. Now, granted, you do bring up good claims against people in other situations, and you have every right to call them out. But lately, it's just been seen as pure hypocrisy or just out of spite and to make things look worse than they actually are, because you don't like the person. Here he admitted he isn't even going to watch the video as he's not that dumb, even though Charman and Kiwi Farm showed good evidence of the allegations against him and Tyler, to which he completely chooses to ignore and push aside, while again, he only goes after me, the 16-year-old, and Charman's misphrasing. Overall, horrible response with little evidence backing up the statements he made against him. He even admitted to not watching the full video, so he didn't even remotely care about responding to it, but only cherry-picked things. Also, Fishing, here's some criticism. You don't need to use your high-pitched, sped-up chipmunk voice within every video or every time you respond to someone or something, as it looks like you aren't taking it seriously and could discredit you in the long run. I fucked up confronting these issues too, and people didn't believe me because they think I was being foolish or goofy or joking and stuff. Like these are some serious allegations against you and Tyler, yet this is how you respond? It's fine to make jokes here and there, that's whatever, lighten the mood, do what you gotta do, but damn man, tone down on the Alvin and the Chipmunks concert.
I might die on this hill, I might shoot until I'm out, I might hit you in your snout, load the chopper, let it shout. Die on this hill, I might shoot until I fall, take your knees and make you crawl.
At the end of the day, the relationship was not all bad, as we had our good moments. She was drawing her art, we were telling each other we love each other, like couples do, but it was mostly toxic coming from both sides. We both did the same shit going back and forth with each other, but she would never admit to her wrongdoings nor take accountability for her actions. And I wish I treated her better and was a better boyfriend, but I didn't. And I wasn't. And I was a bad boyfriend. I was an immature asshole who was a very, very bad boyfriend, and I was clearly not ready to be in a relationship with anyone until I figured shit out. It sucks because I wanted her to get the help she needs, but she claims to do it all the time, but comes back and looks as if zero progress has been made or she hasn't been getting help at all. Fishing, I just want to say, I see myself in your shoes. I've been in the exact same position you are in. Hell, I even defended her on wild stuff too, but you can't keep covering up her mistakes. She manipulates you, allegedly groomed a minor, makes you do things in order to benefit her, and so on and so forth. If she truly loves you, she would be honest with everything instead of disappearing or pretending to be getting help and you having to pick up the slack for her when she lies out of her ass and pisses everyone off. Fishing, like I said, I've been in your shoes, man. I was petty, selfish, an asshole, couldn't handle criticism, got mad at anti-furs, could barely grow facial hair, was toxic online, dealing with Tyler's shit, and so on and so forth. Like, I was literally in your shoes, and I do not want you to go down the same path I did, as you will regret it, and it will bite you in the ass, as it already has been happening. And you have a chance to learn and grow from your mistakes. Both you and Tyler do. You both are still young and have plenty life to live, and can even live normal lives if you wanted to. But you just have to put the effort into being better people. I did, and I feel fucking fantastic. I live my life every day like it's my last. I've done so good and I made great progress. And I think both of you can do the same. But you have to drop the act and admit your mistakes and take accountability for your actions. If I'm able to do it, then so can you. But I don't understand the need to brag about how you have a girlfriend or whatever, but also bragging that you stole her from me is funny because you can keep her, bro. She's your problem now.